Hey, how's it going? Yeah, God is real. You know, I know a lot of you all have seen the orbs, and you're thinking some everything. What are they? Are they demons, aliens, or whatever? Um, as terrible as this planet has been, if the orbs were really crooked, I'm sure this planet would be worse than it already is. And then the people of the earth, you all are really be feeling it. You all will really be getting tortured. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think about it. You have some type of grace floating above you because overall, humanity has been terrible, straight up terrible. And like I say, my encounter with the orbs, May 16th, 2022, hey, it was lovely. You know, my belief in God, held me up. And like I say, it was nothing but love. I felt a godly feeling, godly presence, a godly hug. And I'm looking at all this stuff that is not human, some supernatural stuff. The light, the fire, the electricity, the shiny beam, you know, things I never saw before in my life. And they, they have been treating me well. You know, I pray to God every day. You know, um, if the orbs were terrible or whatever, it seems like they don't have nothing against people that love God. You know, like I mentioned, you know what I'm saying? I worship the Holy God. Even the orbs know that. You know what I'm saying? When I was up in there, you know, like I was telling you, all through me, all in my mind, everything. Hey, my thoughts were God. You know, the Bible, the supernatural. So if they was against the Lord that much, they didn't do anything to me. You know, um, a person that has been terrible in life, you can expect something terrible. You know, like some type of judgment or something. You know, even if it's not from the supernatural, it could be from the courts, the judges that's on this earth. You know, that send you to jail. You know, just for being terrible. You know, and, the orbs are totally different. They are for real. My encounter is for real. You know, I know it's hard to understand it. You know, most likely it would probably have been hard for me to understand it also if I was hearing about people going up inside the orbs. And the reason why I say a black man was inside the orbs because definitely I was that black man. And everything that's supernatural or spiritual, most people always, don't really put a complexion to it, you know, or they'll, you know, uh, lighten it up. You know what I'm saying? Say this is someone else or whatever. So that's why I be specific. Like, yeah, I was up in there. And so definitely a black man was up in there, you know. Like I said, it could have been more people, but I know most people wasn't talking about it or bold enough. And my encounter was in 2022. And soon after my encounter, I was telling people about it. I was on the internet. I wasn't scared about it. I wasn't worried about it. I didn't care about what people said or anything. Because, like I say, I was inside and I saw what most people haven't. And in my belief in God, and the angels and the supernatural, that's my bag up. That's why I get on here. I don't be worried. You know, I'm human just like everybody else, but I'm not worried about no humans and all this stuff that goes on the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm human just like y'all, but after my encounter, and I saw beyond humanity, humans, man, like I say, like, man, I'd rather be with God. I stick with them, you know. Like I say, the way I was treated, man, I wouldn't get it up for this human society, you know. I done lived here 59 years old, 59 years, watching a whole lot of wickedness, mainly, you know. And compared to them orbs, um, humans really are the last people that should be trying to call something wicked. You know what I'm saying? Should be the last one to try to call something wicked. But a lot of people have been so wicked that they don't even want the people that love God to acknowledge that He's real. So you hear all type of old stories. But before, people was stressing on the orbs a lot and things they didn't know what it was in the air. They was mainly speaking on God in the Bible. You wasn't hearing nobody going around mentioning the orbs or angels that much until after all these videos and people's encounters of the orbs. Like I say, it might be different kinds of things, crafts, UAPs in the air, or whatever. But the encounter I had was quite unique. And like I say, the looks of it, I automatically knew, like, man, this is not from this realm. You know, these are not the average humans, you know. Like I say, all my thoughts was the Bible and God. So they treated me well, you know. So to me, evidently, they must have liked my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs, you know. And like I always say, I thank God every day for it. I hear all the stories about other people's encounter, stuff like that. You know, so as far as mine's, I put a complexion on it. You know, I was in there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm black. So I say, yeah, a black man was definitely inside the orbs. And most people, besides the average citizens, they know I'm telling the truth. And like I say, when it comes to me or who all is involved in the spiritual stuff or whatever, hey, God and the angels, they're gonna fight my battle for me, for all that. So you ain't gonna see me burning no candles and doing all this other stuff that people might do, you know, or whatever stuff you're seeing in the movies. You're not gonna see me do none of that. You might catch me praying, you know, and thanking God, you know. But that's the reason why all this spiritual wickedness, you know, they can't defeat what I'm standing for, who I'm with, and that's the Holy God, you know. Take care. God bless.